In fact, not only must we challenge the Europeans, we must challenge the Asians, and we must challenge the Latin Americans as well. We must challenge any group. We must challenge any group that threatens to constrain our freedom and threatens to exploit us. And that does not include any other group. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that nations and people do not have permanent friends. They only have permanent interest. And the people who are your allies today can be your enemies tomorrow. And you must keep that in mind, because there's some of us who are deceived in this direction as well. I hear a lot of blacks use the word black and Latino constantly. We're related, yes, but there are also differences. And these differences can be exploited at different times. Some of you, if you've looked at 13 last week or so when they were running a series of programs on the Spanish in America, you might have seen one particular program open up that says, we will no longer help the blacks in Los Angeles. We will no longer support the gringos and the Jews. We are now 40% of Los Angeles County, and we intend to control this city. We will no longer be told what slice of the pie that we will get. We will tell how the pie is to be divided. You must come to your realistic sense. Nations and people do not fall in love. They do not marry each other. Because see, we have some foolish people out here who look at their personal relations with white folk. And they have good white friends. And I'm not doubting the sincerity of the friendship. Not at all. Not at all. I do not doubt that blacks and whites can be truly friendly. And we should be friendly as people. And I don't see any problem with having those friends, you know. But do not confuse your personal relations with the relations between groups. Do not always assume that the dynamics that determines your personal relationships are the same dynamics that can be used between groups. That's a serious error that a lot of people make, you see. So they have a lot of personal friends who belong to other ethnic groups, and that's fine. So do I. But you can't confuse those. You know, you get some people who have good friends with Koreans, you know, they speak well while they're spending all their money there. And, you know, they can't understand why we would seek to struggle against these people for the ownership of our economic turf. Because for them, you know, we're friendly. What, you know, but you got to understand some other things. We have Mother Banny here. You remember of Coffee Boy fame? And yeah, I think he's got something called Beyond Black and White or some nonsense, where he's presenting us his relationship with his white wife, which is supposed to, I guess, be some paradigm for the relationship between black folk and white folk. It's not the same thing. Groups, on certain levels, there are parallels. On other levels, those parallels do not function and they do not work. And you got to make a division between those two things. I find very interesting, white women are not afraid, and the white feminists are not afraid to talk about power. We as African Americans seem to have a problem with talking about power. But these women will talk about empowerment just as they talk about anything else. And they're clear that they want real power in this society. I was reading a piece here the other day where you have now lending institutions that are designed to lend money to women going into business exclusively, not including men and other minorities. I'm saying that because, you see, one of the things that black folk are We are over-inclusive. We want to bring everybody in on the party. And we've been made guilty when we don't bring everybody in. And here's a group that's founded, it's lending institutions and so forth, and their stated purpose is to lend to women, specifically to white females exclusively, and support their economic growth and development.